Noted the Garvey celebration last summer, Ocho Rios. The Chinese pretty much own Jamaica. I mean, the Jamaican government is giving them concessions, land concessions. They're building hotels, beach resorts. They're building 2 schools for the Japanese, for the Jamaicans. And what the Jamaicans have to give them in turn is the right to certain lands, the right to certain waterways. And if it doesn't stop, Jamaica, ironically, the land of Marcus Garvey and Bob Marley, will be the first Chinese colony in the Caribbean.
So this conversation about the Chinese taking over Jamaica has been a conversation that Jamaicans have been having for a long time. From about 1999, when the then Prime Minister of Jamaica, P.J. Patterson, signed a deal with the Chinese government for the Highway 2000. The Highway 2000, one of the biggest road network in the Caribbean. And I don't think we have really sat down to have like a real honest conversation as to the pros and the cons in terms of the relationship between Jamaica and China and the contribution to Jamaica that the Chinese government and the Chinese people have had on Jamaica. So that is what I want to do today, talk about the Chinese impact on Jamaica and should we really be worried about the Chinese taking over. Let's talk about it. Okay, so as a Jamaican, I believe that we have the right to be concerned about who is coming into our country and about the impact that it's going to have on Jamaica. And as I said, for the past 25 years, we have been having this conversation about the Chinese taking over Jamaica. But what is confusing to me is that we don't have the same energy for other groups of people who clearly owns more of Jamaica than the Chinese. For example, the hotel industry in Jamaica, there's over 6,600 hotels in Jamaica. That is more hotels than every single one of the West Indies, the other West Indies island combined. Jamaica has over 6,000 hotels, and 99% of those hotels, they are not owned by Jamaicans, they're owned by Europeans, they're owned by Americans. But we're not having the conversation about most of our land spaces, most of our beaches not owned by Jamaicans. But we always come back to this conversation about the Chinese. And as a Jamaican, you know, when you drive on the toll roads, when you drive on Highway 2000 or any of the highways that's in Jamaica, you would have to say like, look, this is better than going on Flatbridge. This is better than taking the long route to go anywhere else. And the reality is that that would not be possible without the Chinese government and the Chinese people. And Jamaica is not the only place. Like even in Canada and America, cannot keep up with the Chinese people, cannot keep up with their technology, cannot keep up with their work ethic. So I believe that, you know, we have to have a real honest conversation about the pros and the cons. Yes, there is a downside to having Chinese business in Jamaica, but there's also an upside. So today I want to talk about a new group of people that are worried about Chinese influence in Jamaica, and those are the mechanics. So mechanics in Jamaica are shaking in their boots because a new company came to Jamaica, set up a new Chinese company that they deal with car servicing and mechanics. And this story went viral over the past week, and TVJ in Jamaica covered it. So this is TVJ reporting on the new company in Jamaica, a Chinese company that have mechanics shaking.
Scores of motorists have been flocking the establishment to see the Chinese mechanics who have gained popularity among Jamaicans.
Ramarda Lyons reports.
9 p.m. Wednesday, one woman sits in her car, the only person in line at the Chinese-owned WH car service. In the black of night, along the lonely roadway, she planned to camp out to roll in like a well-oiled machine when the business opened Thursday morning. A sheet on her seat.
Oh yeah, I am first in the line. But everybody's talking about this. So everybody, just like with KFC just open, everybody wants to try it. So I'm here to try it out.
This, she says, is a big deal. She has an issue with her engine, and like everyone else who's been turning up, she's in pursuit of a cheap, lasting fix.
But everybody wants to save money. Line from over that side, go all the way back round. There's another pathway down there, so cars on the sidewalk.
Later, she was eventually asked to leave by the police. As we waited on the outskirts, this man made his way out to moonlight. He arrived in sunlight.
My number was 40. Others who were there with me, they got 9, 7, 8, 10, etc. And so they were able to get out of there before midday. While my number 40, I'm only getting out here now about 9 p.m.
He said it was worth it. After visiting local experts, he was told the fix would cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Between $180,000 to $250,000 because I was told by a transmission expert that I needed a new transmission.
He said he got transmission fluid, paid for it, and paid for a scanning from the Chinese mechanics. At what cost?
In total, $30,500, and I'm able to drive home, and I'm very happy.
Others shared a similar experience.
In less than 5 minutes, I was diagnosed the problem with my car. Catalytic converter, the airbag, rear airbag, and 2 side airbags were also in need of repairs. And the cost, they told me, $30,000. When I checked around, I was told that that's a bargain.
Parked cars stretch for meters. An inoperative car here dragged to the location with a rope, and we saw this notice at the gate. Quote, "We're truly sorry. Over 800 vehicles are currently waiting for service. We cannot offer same-day service." End quote. Queue, wait patiently.
They are 17. Where them are going, man? Them have a buzz. But I'm glad somebody in and out there.
This man was frustrated. It's a good deal, he admitted, but the wait time is the deal breaker.
When I come and hear say the amount of people we select, I have to wait 1 month to get my thing deal with, boy. The 1 month kind of throw me off. I wish the Chinese them could have bring in some more on.
Still, he's handing out warnings.
Car dealer, car parts place, a mechanic, saddle up. New guest in town.
Okay, so that was the report coming out of TVJ, and I want you guys to do something for me. Go in the comment section, hit the comment section, and give me your opinion on this. Would you rather to be loyal to your Jamaican mechanic and, go to the Jamaican mechanic and you hear like 200,000 to fix this transmission, or the other option, go to the Chinese dealer and the Chinese will say like, look, the same problem that you were just quoted 200,000 for, I can fix this for 30,000. So loyalty, go with the Jamaican, 200,000. No, let's go with the Chinese for 30,000. Which one would you choose? And this is something that, as a Jamaican living in the diaspora, this is something that a lot of Jamaicans are faced with. And not only with Chinese coming from China, but Chinese Jamaicans, because Chinese have been a part of Jamaican culture, a part of Jamaican everyday life for over 200 years. And a lot of people don't realize how Chinese, the Chinese influence on Jamaica and Chinese Jamaicans, not only Jamaicans, but Chinese being a part of the West Indies for like hundreds of years. And living in the diaspora, and when you go to like a Caribbean supermarket, whether it's in New York, whether it's in Toronto, and you go to like a Chinese own or you go to like a black Jamaican own, sometimes there's a big difference in terms of price, because we all know the Chinese model. Sell cheap and get rid of your stuff. So a lot of times you're faced with going to these businesses and you have to think about how much money you have, how much you want to spend. And a lot of times you go to the Chinese business and you will get it for like 30, 40% less. And you're like left with this dilemma. Do I go for cheaper or do I support like black business? That is something that I know I've been faced with, like living in the diaspora. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think about this new mechanic shop, in Jamaica, do you think that this is going to put a lot of mechanics out of business? And as I said, like, what would you do, like, if you're in Jamaica and you saw this footage that some of these people are lined up, like, for hours, the entire day, waiting to get a cheaper deal? Because the reality is that a lot of us, we don't make a lot of money and we have to go with what is cheaper. So sometimes we're not even thinking about loyalty or supporting each other. We just want a cheap price. So sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.